Albatross. A name that could have many meanings in many contexts. But today, myself and the Ace logo are going to explore the timeless isle with the help of a bird which today's name stands for exploration. Right, so the name of the game is the Highwind Albatross, and what you got to do is you got to actually tag it to get a little damage on it, and it's going to pick you up, and it's going to allow you to essentially fly over different parts of the area that are, conventionally unreachable. I'm going to try to show those off, all right, as we fly over them, but the first things first is the place I am on the map. Now, you're going to see one flying by right here. Let's hope that, as I said, you have to actually deal damage to it, and it flies quite high. Like, it really depends what area you're in, and if you're actually close enough, 30-yard, 40-yard range, whatever your abilities are, to do damage to it. So let's see if this one is actually going to be close enough. I feel like it might not be. Nah, it's definitely way too high. Oh, I got it. There we go. Okay, so it just happened to pass. So the trick is to just do a little bit of damage to it. You don't want to do a lot because that's how you get off it. I'll show you that later, but in order to get picked up, you just got to do a small amount of damage to it. It's going to pick you up, and now it has you forever, essentially, if you wanted to. It's going to fly you around the isle, as you see right now. It might take us to a few interesting locations. I'm going to show that off. And then when you want to land, you have to attack it. You have to deal damage to it, and you'll have to kill it for it to drop you. And it has the potentiality of dropping you in places that are not really ideal if you don't do it properly. So that's what it's all about. You got to time it right and make sure you're using it, to its fullest. But in terms of, different places that you can go, here's one as well. I think you're able to reach it, especially if you're maybe right on that cliff. This one that passed by, I think you would have been able to have been picked up by. But the place at the lake where I just was, that seemed like the best place for me. And then also right by the tournament grounds, one passes over, a few of them pass over. But there's a few. In the description is a map of the route and stuff like that. I'm not going to show you the whole route, as it takes like a good 15-20 minutes to do the whole route. But I will show you some of the cooler locations, and we'll talk about the implications of it. So we're coming up to another spot where I think you can pick one up, but I did just want to mention that, the Timeless Isle is all about exploration. So, I'm going to show some of these things off, but I really encourage you guys to go check the stuff out yourself and really dig into it and explore, because the possibilities are endless, and there's stuff everywhere. Like, nobody will ever explore. You'll never get 100% out of this isle. You'd have to be here all day, every day. Like, they've added this. I feel like they've added more on this isle than they have in the entire game. Like, that has the entire expansion easily. There is more content on this isle, exploration type stuff, than there has been in the entire game, and that's fucking awesome. But right here, you'll see one of these chests. This is going to be covered in another video. This is going to be one of the first drop-off spots. So if I wanted to land here, I would just start attacking him when he flies over, and I'd get the chest. Now, once you have been, picked up and dropped off, that seems like a detriment, right? Like, now I'm stuck on that island. But these things kind of fly in packs, so there'll be another one around at some point, and I'll just have to sit there and wait for it. It's really not that big a deal. But I'll show you the next, another spot coming up, All right, so now on the other side of the island, we're coming up on another interesting location. This is, the Blazing Way, the whole area with the fucking elite Yongos. These guys are rapists. They absolutely are. So honestly, if I wanted to explore this place, it would be much safer to do it on the Albatross. Like, it's, we get a good, nice visual from up above. You can see what's going on. And especially if there's not a lot of people on the realm you're playing on, these guys are all going to be up, and they will aggro. And they do this like charge that when it hits you, it does a ton of damage and like stuns you. It doesn't even stun you, it just stops you. I don't know if that's PTR only, but anyway, the next target here is this Ruby Lake, right? Lake of Fire, and it's apparently the objective of a quest that I'm also going to do a video on at some point. But for now, we're just taking a look at it. This is a place that you can only access through the Albatross, and I actually saw a rare before up here, so. Aside from that, I mean, it's just another area of exploration, and I'm not going to try to go into that. I want you guys to do it. You should come out here and explore for yourselves, but this is one of 3 areas that are exclusive, essentially, to the Highwind Albatross, or perhaps hackers. But I don't think that's happening in the game anymore. Might be able to fish up here as well. Looks pretty cool. Might as well talk about it as we fly over it. The Ordon Sanctuary, all right? This is the area where you're going to fight that giant world boss. Has something to do with the legendary cloak completion, all that shit. But one way or the other, it's a really cool little area, and I think this is probably one of my favorite things. I love this open world temple look, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like what the Nui Zhao temple or whatever is supposed to look like if it wasn't destroyed. And the bird can help you get there, you know? I don't know exactly what the options are to get here, but obviously if I wanted to, I could use the bird to get here. So there's a lot of other stuff on this in this sanctuary as well. There's one of the chests that are going to be involved in the giant meta chest achievement, which I'm also going to be doing a video on, is up here. So nice tour of the isle, one way or the other. And now we're making our final descent, or approach, I guess the way you look at it, is the three of the you know, as I said, there's 3 places that are only accessible by the Highwind Albatross. And here's another one of the chests. So these chests, you know, they're put in the game to get people to explore, but they are part of a giant meta chest achievement, which I'll be doing a full guide on. But anyway, I mean, this is what it's all about, you know what I mean? Coming out here and exploring. If you have any questions about the Albatross, any questions about how it works, let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm going to attack it and show you exactly so I'm going to try to land on this isle. Let's see if I can do it. Yep, so there you go. So now he's like descended, and he's fighting me, and I just got to kill him. It's got a good amount of health. It's going to take a little bit, but especially, you know, as a prop paladin, it's not necessarily what I want to be doing. But if you don't do this properly, you can get him to drop you off on a place that you may not survive the fall. So we'll see. This looks like a pretty, you know, sheer cliff face. I might not actually make it. I might land on this and just slide right off. So we'll see. It's interesting. Just gonna, you know, kill it. Just killing it. I'm burning the shit out of this bird. This bird is going. Look at this bird. Oh my god, what a fucking noob bird. He's just not even doing damage to me. He's literally not even doing damage to me. You think he would attack back? I'm a fucking paladin. I'm a prop paladin. This guy's attacking me. He's not doing any damage. This is unreal. But check this out. Yeah, here we go. Landed on there. And now I'm up on this isle bit, like this fucking peninsula looking thing. And all the people down there, they're like, oh my god, how do you get up there? You know what I mean? So you can fuck with your friends, catch a bird, get some popcorn, fly around, and enjoy the isle, man. That's what it's all about. Exploration. If you have any questions, I was going to say something witty, but I'm out. I'm done.